Hello, everybody. Hello, hello. We are the Mad Scientists. I'm Mad Frankie. This is Violet Igor over here. And together we make the Mad Scientists. Ta 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 ta.
Ta ta ta.
Okay.
Hello, everyone.
Yeah.
Welcome, welcome. Thank you for watching this recorded thing. We're playing late at night, and there might be some silliness, so bear with us.
Yeah.
And
well,
I will.
If you silliness, you've come to the wrong channel.
I am going to leave you now. There we go.
Okay. She's there in the background anyway, so
Yes,
she's figured out how to get rid of herself, so she doesn't have to sit there and tell me to throw her out.
Yes.
So I'm going to make an AKC box. This is my version of artist trading cards because I don't do trading. I just do keeping. So it's artist keeping cards, AKC. So I'm making this box to keep some in because my other one's full. And I've made it out of this tripod stand box, which was originally twice the height because this bit was on top here. So I cut it down and put the two together. And I'm going to cut through here. In fact, I have cut through there already. Let me show you. Right, and I creased along here. I used the back of this knife to do the crease. I was thinking of using my bone folder, but it's so broad that it wasn't going to make a decent line. Yeah. So I used the back of this knife where it's not sharp. It doesn't cut through, but it's given me a nice crisp score there and there. So I those two, right?
Well done.
Those will open, and I'm going to put a floor in between the two, and I'm going to put a bit of a floor in here as well. So I'm going to put it in. I hope this is going to work. I've made marks on here where I want them, where I think I want them, or I hope I want them. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to fold along these lines. Now I did that with a pen, so I need to go across along it with this back of this knife.
It's a work in progress.
Yeah. So that's given me a little score because there's already a fold there, but I want it to fold where I want it to fold, not where it wants to fold. Let's hope I can do that. I'll go over it again. Do not put your finger on the top because that's the sharp bit. Sort of daft thing I'd do. Yeah. So that's given me a nice crisp fold.
There you go.
Because that's going to be the edge. And then I want another one on the other side because I'm going to glue it to the sides like that on the inside. You see, so I've got to have an area to glue to this side. And I'm going to do the same with the other side. So here we go with that. I'm not pressing very hard with that because I don't want to cut through it even with the back of a knife. There we go. Lovely. And then I want a bit of an angle in there. So I'm going to cut it. Now, where am I going to cut it? If it's going to go in there, I want it to. So I've got to put another line. Sorry, another line. I'm going to be doing some nice spraying in a minute. There. So I'm going to put. I'm drawing it with a brown pen because then I don't have to have it too dark. I don't want it too obvious. In case I get to see it, then I won't have to bother with anything else. Make it a little bit wider like that, because I reckon by the time I've finished, yes, there we are. So I've got that crease, and then I want this crease here. there, like that. All right. So I'm hoping that that's going to sit sort of like that inside. Yeah.
Okay.
Sort of. Let's see if it does or it doesn't. So I'm going to cut it there. It's possible that it might need a bit more room, but that's all right. I've given it enough to be able to move it across if I need to. By that I mean, if I don't want that line, I can move it over to that one. Because when it slants, it's going to have a bit more room. I forgot about that. So that would be there, where the original fold was. Let's try that. That's going to give me a nice fold there. Yeah, lovely. Sort of, it's going to be, you'll be able to see, look, like that. Yeah.
Okay.
So
I'm just trying to picture. Oh, never mind. We're just gonna go along the way. We'll see how it goes.
So I'm going to cut that edge first.
Okay.
Across there. And I want it just there. Come on, Mark. That's better. Right. So I can now line that up across there, like that. And check again. Can always trim it a little bit more if this is not quite enough. So I'm cutting it on the outside of the line. So that probably means it won't quite fit. But I don't want it to be too... Got to be able to get it in. Oh, and it's got to go that way round. Yes, that's quite too tight. Good. That means I can cut a little sliver more off without... So I'm cutting a really small piece.
Yes,
like that.
You are.
Just the tiniest little bit.
When I have to cut a little tiny bit like that with big scissors, no matter how hard I try, I go wonky.
Uh-huh. Well, I'll probably go wonky as well, but who cares? It's only a little box.
Yeah.
So if I can't get it through, we'll see. So it's nearly there. You've got to, you see, what I was counting on was the fact that the thickness of the board here would give me that little bit of leeway to narrow it down bit by bit till I get it just right. So another tiny sliver. So really small bit come off. Oops, better not do that. See, there we go. That's in. It's not quite right because the back has sunk a bit.
That's what I'm
But
thinking.
it will
I
get
thought
there.
you wanted it. Yeah, I thought you wanted it slanted a bit.
It will. It will when I lever it up a little. There, like that. There you go.
Ta-da!
No, it doesn't look slanted, but it is. So what I'll do is I will put glue on the other side, and because I haven't done the top bit yet, I can use the top orifice to put my hand in and adjust things. So if I need to, I can poke it in like that and get it just the right position. See? So I need to put glue on that piece. Now I just need to check whether it's that one or that one.
Yeah.
Is it that one or is it that one?
And hopefully some fast drying glue.
Yes, it's the second one, so it's the second line. So the whole of that area there needs to be glued. Okie dokie. Well, fast drying, I'm going to use Fabri-Tac because I find that's the best one, really.
Yeah, that'll work.
See, because of this, having all this down here with these slatty bits from the folds on the bottom, you see, because of all that in there, I wanted a smooth area.
Mm-hmm.
So
And a slant.
Yeah. It's a very small slant because I've got, this is holding it above, you know, it's going to give me that area underneath that's going to be unused space. But that's okay. I mean, I've got plenty of room there. Here we go. Put some on. This stuff dries fairly fast on things like cardboard. In fact, sometimes when you're doing a fairly large area, it can dry on the first bit before you finish putting glue on the last bit. So when I'm doing books, I like to do it in pieces so I can glue that bit down, put some more on, glue the next bit down. You know? So let's see if we can get this in without too much shenanigans.
Well, now I have to ask a question.
Yeah.
On this, you have two sides to your. You cut down the tripod. You cut down the tripod box, and you went side by side instead of really tall one. So on the other side, you don't have any doors cut.
Not yet, but I do have a top.
Okay.
That's already there.
Okay.
So I've got access to the inside to do what I want with. Not entirely sure what I'm going to do with that yet. I might do a door coming that way. Like that. Or I might, yes, well, I might do that. I don't think I'd do anything else. I think I might do that.
Okay.
Yeah, but I'll probably put shelves in as well. So I've got one in there. Now I've got to put some glue on this bit. And poke it in. I won't be able to get much glue on those sides, but that doesn't really matter. I'll get what I can in. I will see. And I've got some card here underneath all ready for doing some lovely things with, and I've got loads of lovely things here to do stuff with. There's a lovely one back here somewhere that I'm dying to have a go with. Where is it? Where's the one I'm dying for? This one. I love this one.
Burnt copper leaves. All right. I don't know what the copper.
But copper leaves. It's
There's an
a
echo
oh dear, is there?
Yeah.
It's an Emerald Creek. Well, I don't hear any echo.
It's faint. It's very faint. Do you have your headset on, right?
I have my headset on, yes.
It's very faint, so I'm hoping that I just barely heard it, almost like somebody way far away. So I'm hoping that the audience isn't annoyed by it.
Not a lot I can do about it at the moment. Ian's ordered me a new.
Yeah. Yay, Ian.
So. Right, gonna push this down. Oops. So it'll be there like. There we are. So now I can see it. Yeah?
That'll do.
Pretty good. And I'm going to put another one in here. This could be more difficult because I'd more or less figured it out when it was time to go live. So now I've got to figure out a new one.
The thing with the upper one is you have access both through the window and the window below to get both hands. So
exactly. So I just have to get. Let's cut that straight. Whoops. Yeah. There. So we've got that. Now, if I cut. Where did I put my? Oh, there it is. My little pen. Right, let's make that into a mark proper. There we go, I'm going to cut that. So that cuts it down to the width I want. So I think I need to cut that down just a whimsy bush back more, a bit more.
You're
just a
trying to figure it out. You're freezing.
Am I? Oh dear.
You know what? It's probably me. I'm gonna go down. You keep doing your thing. I'm gonna run downstairs and get my cable so I can plug.
Okay. So that still looks a little on the big side. Yeah, still a little on the big side. Just a tiny little smidgen more. That should be about right. So I want something to hold it at the back. So we want a little, I don't want this one to be so slanted, this one. I want it to be flatter. So we'll give it a nice little ridgy poo. Like this. So that should be able to glue in. Now, the next bit is figuring out just how much I need this side. So I need it to be there. If I can get that lined up straight across. Like that. Still see it. Good. Now, woo, there's a big pop.
Okay, thank you.
Oh, you're back?
Yes.
Good out.
Yeah, I lost internet, so I went downstairs and got the cable so I can be hardwired.
Uh-huh. I wish I was.
Should have done that in the first
don't
place. All right, what did I miss?
Not much. I'm still measuring to see if it will fit in. Okay. And then I've got to cut off enough so it just goes where the thing is to...
Well, I'm glad you kept going and didn't worry about where I was. Good job.
Good. Go to there, just there. So if I can cut that level, I'll mark it first so I can keep level. And to make sure I keep level, let's look at where I'm cutting it to this line. So could it be level with it? I'm doing this by eye. I mean, it depends entirely. It depends entirely on what kind of box you're making. If you're making this type of box, how big you've drawn this bit,
right?
How wide it is. So it's not any sense to tell you measurements because you won't have a box the same unless you buy exactly the same tripod stand and make your marks exactly where I made my little marks, and that's unlikely. So I cut there. Yes.
No.
I want to cut the other way.
No. Wait. Oh, okay. You've got it turned. Okay, you turned it. I didn't realize.
I did check. I was about to cut the other line, and I thought, no, wait a minute.
No, you turned it.
Like that. Yeah.
Yep.
So it should fit like.
There you go. At an angle, and then come up. Right.
Got to get in first, then I come up. Right. A little bit on the wonky side at the moment.
You know, I ordered some of those Chicago screws, and this would be a good time to use them.
I was thinking that too. I had them in my basket, and they're still sitting in the basket. Haven't decided whether to buy them or not yet. I think I just did.
Yep.
I think I just did.
You see right there in that little piece right there, the middle piece. Yeah, you could use them to screw in there right there instead of worrying about glue or anything like that. Plus, they'd be decorative.
Yeah, well, I can do that as well, can't I, once I've got it all in? Mm-hmm. So I know it's going to fit. Mm-hmm. And I don't have to cut it down anymore. It's going to fit really nice and tight. So that's good. So all I've got to do now is glue it.
We can blame Ann Laura for that because she made
that was her idea, was it?
Well, she made a journal, a book, using them to hold it in. It kind of looked like the way it was placed, like Japanese stab binding. You know what that is, right?
Oh, yeah.
Well, the way she screwed them in and you open the book was kind of like that. And, it was beautiful. And I'm like, I have to have those things. Not only do they hold better than the bendy tabs, but they're really decorative. They're pretty. And
they work like snap fasteners without having to have a stuff to put snap fasteners together.
Exactly.
You just need
how much trouble I have with that.
Yeah.
So they're beautiful. And they come in, I think they came in different choice colors. Not necessarily red, blue, green, yellow, and that, but more like copper, silver, bronze, brass, whatever, something like that. Just the sort of type that we like.
Right, just...
There you go. That's better.
Yep. That's better. That gives a bit more stiffness here as well, you see, using that other piece of that.
Reinforces it.
Yep, it does. So there we go. So that's that. So I've got to decide what I'm going to do with this. I think I could just leave it like that and use this just to store bits that I'm not using at the moment.
That's not a bad idea. You could throw in bits that you want to apply, you know, you want to use on AKCs and throw them in there. And yeah,
exactly. Pieces and ones that are halfway through done, and just put the finished ones in the nice area here. So I think I'll get some of those. And I've got some Tim Holtz doorknobs that I could use on there somewhere. I've got a box full of that sort of stuff somewhere upstairs, I think. But that would work. So that'll be lovely. So the next thing is and I'm going to do the doors separately, so I don't have to worry about that. But I want to cover the rest of it with something. So in order to do that, I'm going to do some spraying. Hello. So that's that bit. Let me throw these bits of card down out of the way, and I can chuck away the little tiny bits that I won't be using, I don't think. Mind you, I mean, the number of times you throw something away and then you say, we should have kept that bit, but it's always the bit you've thrown.
Yep, do it all the time.
But you can't keep everything. So, I mean, you just end up with a junk shop for a home. So I've got lots of bits here. I'm going to get rid of all but the top one so that I can spray the top one. This is a nice bit of card. So I've got all these luscious things here. I've got all these, which I love because they're so dinky winky. Aren't they nice? These are Tattered Angels fine glitter paint, otherwise known as Glimmer glaze.
All right.
So those are
these out in a while.
No, I haven't. That's why I wanted to have a go with them. And I've got the sprays. So I have got these Tattered Angel sprays. These are Glimmer mists. The only one I haven't got is Glam glaze or Glimmer Glam. I can't remember what it is, but it sounds lovely. It's nice and thick and strongly coloured. So I haven't got any of them. But I've got a couple of these colour wash paints. One in weathered copper faux finish and one in brass faux finish. So I don't know whether I'll use those or not. So we'll put those out the way for the moment. So I've got the woven burlap and I've got butternut squash. And I should have another one somewhere. Rusted metal. And I've also got Verdigri faux finish. So let's see. Let us see what we will see. And I've got all these lovely Seth Apter baked textures that I want to have a play with as well. So I'm going to have a sprayeroonie with this. Start with the woven burlap. No, start with the butternut squash. That's it. Start with the butternut squash. So I've got to rinky dinky dinky it. Ding, 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 ding. I've also got some of Seth Apter's iZink dye spray in tea, which I love using.
I do like that one.
And I've got a whole load of other sprays over here, like Distress Mica Stain, Harvest Moon, and various other things like Tree Lot. Funny name. And Burning Ember, which looks to me awfully like copper.
Yes, it does.
Could be fun to use. So we've got most of that, John.
Well, I see you've got some stamps over there too.
Yes, I have. One or two. I was thinking to use some of those when this is dry. So I've got a couple of pieces of this stuff to do. And then I should have some nice stuff to print on. And I would print with the either ground espresso or the black. I usually print with the black, I must admit. I just don't want anything down the bottom to get clogged in the... That's better. In the sprayer. Now this is what is it? I think it's a Hobbycraft paper card, and it's got a little bit of. I think it's about. I don't think it's quite as much as on 160. It's probably 120. It might be 160, but I've lost all the labels and everything off it. 1 minute, what's that say? A3 white card, 300 GSM.
300.
So it's more than I thought. Yeah, it's more than I thought.
Way more.
Yeah. So it's got a nice bit of stiffness to it, which is good. So that's the butternut squash. There's not a lot of colour on there, you would think, but there's quite a bit of dampness. I want to put a little bit at the top and along the edges. And along this edge.
I think as it dries, we see the color.
So that was the butternut. Now I want woven burlap. Same procedure. Gives it a chance to dry a bit. But it needs to go on before it's completely dry. Before the previous layer is completely dry. The other one I want is tattered leather, and I haven't got it, but I've ordered it. But it's not going to be here before this has been used and begun to dry. So I'll use one of the other things, but I'll have it next time.
Ooh.
I'm trying to do it sort of slowly so that I get more of the spatter. There we go. Yeah. Fupa. Also got some lovely this. I must show you this. I must show you this. Don't have a go with this. Yellow rust. This is an Art Extravagance one from Finnabair. Rust Effect Paste. Can't wait.
That's nice.
I have a feeling I've got some red somewhere that I haven't used yet. I bought some time ago, so that would be nice. So that was, yes, that was the woven burlap. So I've got two of those. That's why it's over there. So I've used those two. So now rusted metal. It looks like copper to me.
Dark copper.
Well, it looks quite a good. It's got the brown tinge, so it should be fairly dark.
Well, that other color you showed earlier that was copper is a red copper. There you go. See the difference?
Yeah, orangey, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah.
So this is more like I would think copper would be. Although it's not quite as pink as the copper I've got. I just moved in a drawer. But no matter, no matter.
It's all right.
I want to use a bit of green as well. I'll probably use some tea too. Oh dear, I do hope this isn't going to stick.
Clog up.
I think it's stuck. I think it has, so I shall have to take it out and just sprinkle.
Give it a dauber. Yep, there you go.
Not get much out, so I might have to go and wash that one. I definitely wanted to use some rusted metal. I don't have another one with that colour.
You're gonna think I'm goofy, but if you could pour it into a little bit into something and then drip it, and at this point it would be the inside of that cap. Because it's clogged, so you do without it.
But in clogging, it sucks up in here. So what I'm doing is I'm doing this. So I'm putting my hand over the spray and letting this shoot out the end as I press onto the paper like that. See?
Real mad scientist stuff.
Yeah. And I'll do that again just to get a bit more up the tube. I mean, I shook it until there wasn't any down there, so I don't know why it decided to clog up.
Go ahead, stick your finger in that big pile in the middle and then paint with your finger.
It's all right. I'm getting some out. I'm getting some out. Look, it's coming out lovely. In big splotches.
You're so smart.
Which is super. That's as much as I want of that. So we'll go to T and we'll do a bit of that around some edges.
Now, before we go further, take what you just used and put it over there by the other ones that you used. Please. Yes, dear. There you go.
Now, you don't need to shake this because it's just dye. There's no mica in there. Now, I put some in the middle as well because I want, when I fold things, there to be more colour on it as well. There you go. That's all I want on there. So that goes away to accumulate and drip and turn into something. I don't want too much drippy, so I haven't put a lot on there. Oh, I didn't put any of this on. The Verdigri Faux Finish. On a little bit of that in these areas.
Yeah, and you didn't put that red up there by the other stuff.
The tea. Yeah. Looks red, doesn't it? But it is definitely tea. Oh, there's another one doing it for me. Nope. Right, we're going to do the same thing again.
Nope. Manual.
Now this one will suddenly decide to start spraying in the middle of me doing this, and I'll get it all over my hands. Just trying to move that green into more of an area. Try not to leave trails of the line, but we'll have a little splodge more. Trusting it a bit here. Yeah, I think that's better than I would have got if I'd just been able to spray it. It would have been more even and less interesting. So put that there. So I've got a bit more drippage now.
Drippage.
Yeah, I don't want to move it too much. So that'll be fine. I might dab a bit, but no, I think I'll leave it as it is. I'll leave that now to dry. Right? Away it goes. Away. Over there. Over there. Over there. Over there. Where's another sheet? This is the lighter stuff. I want another hefty one out of the packet. I think there's two there. No, it's definitely only one. Right, do it again, same ones. So we started with the butternut squash.
It went cloggy, didn't it?
Yeah. I'll do a bit of this with this one.
Here we go again. I'm hardline, but you're freezing on me again.
Oh, dear.
So it's got to be at your end.
Yeah, and I can't do anything about it. I've got no cable or anything that I can use.
We're okay. We're okay. It's all right.
Sorry. See, what I've done is I've ordered the set.
It didn't last long.
Good. I've ordered the set that this lot comes with. So I should get the, what's it, leather, tattered leather, a new one of this butternut squash, and a woven burlap. So I'm going to take this out and get a bit more out of that. Like that. So that sort of cleans out the doodah. So now I've got the woven burlap. Give it another shake because we don't want everything to stop. I do wish I could get latte. I have used so much latte. I really loved it. So now putting this over it, it gives me a nice combination. There we are. Now I'm going to do the same as I did with the others, taking this off and letting that dribble out the end. That one did spray all over my hand. Yeah. That's okay, I don't mind. Although it's harder to get off than acrylic.
How can
acrylic
you tell?
Just peels. Well, acrylic just peels off after a bit. This stuff is like a dye, so it stays in for a bit. So I want a bit of tea. There we are. And a bit of the green, I think. Verdigri Faux finish. Where else? A little bit there. And a little bit there. That's about enough. Lovely. Right, I won't bother with the rusted metal. Or will I? Maybe I'll just add a little bit. Just a bit. Why not?
Maybe a little bit. That bottom left corner.
Yeah, maybe. But it's got some of that nice sort of aged bronze look to it. This. And that's exactly what I want. I could just go and get some new sprayers, but I'm liking the effect of this. I have deliberately bought myself a load of new sprayers for just this sort of occasion. I've got them in various sizes, so whether it's Tattered Angels that go and clog up on me, or whether it's Tim Holtz or Deco Art. Deco Art is inclined to go like that because it's a permanent acrylic. Mm-hmm. So if you get any stuck in there, it will definitely clog up. So there we go. So there's another one. There's a lot more water on this one, a lot wetter.
Mm-hmm.
So we're going to say that dry earlier.
Yeah.
As well. That's nice. I like that. So we've now got two big sheets, or we will have when this is dry. This is drying a bit, but I want to get this edge piece here, which is dripping everywhere. There we go. So we'll let the rest just dry. I'll just pop it over there to drip as it wishes. And this one I will have to leave here. Or can I put it somewhere? Well, it must be somewhere else I can put it. Oh, yes. I can put it over there. I won't be a moment. I'll just have to take the headphones off and go over there. And I can always use some of my previously made gel prints if they go with this colour scheme. So I'm going to have a go with that. With some stamps now.
Stamping.
So, God, that venison done half stink. It's quite a strong smell. I thought somebody was cooking. It's him eating his little stew. Oh dear.
He's going to have lovely breast for a few days.
Yeah. Right, I'm going to go with those. I'm going to use... I think I'm going to use the black because that will show through. See, there's two ways of doing this. One is to stamp all over a sheet of white paper. And another way is to stamp on one of those sheets I've just created, like this. But this is not dry enough to do that with yet. So we'll do it this way first. That means I would need to use a bit less of the shiny stuff when making the paper, you know, or just not bother about which bit is going to be obliterated or not, as the case may be. Now, I'm going to stamp
tissue
a few
paper.
times.
Could you use tissue paper?
No, I want the card because I'm covering that this box with it. It's all for this box. Okay. I'm covering the box with it. So, right, let's get to stamping. Now, I'm going to start with this one because it's a biggie. doesn't really matter where I'm stamping it. I just want a background here. Well, that's going to be off. Very cleverly not on there. That's better. Let me move that over a bit. I've got a clamp there to hold things down, and it's a bit in the way of my paper. I want that one. A couple more of these, and I'll have done with that one for now. You don't have to keep all the way on the piece of paper either. So you can go off the page.
Yep. Sometimes you can bring the ink pad to just a portion of the stamp.
Yep. There we go. That's enough of that one. Gives me something to build on. Now I've got to use this car, which I quite like. It's not stamping brilliantly well, but it's an old stamp. I bought it second hand. And besides, I'm not bothered. Oh, and I like this one. It's one of my favourites. Sorry.
Bless you.
I've got a tiny bit of tea left. Hang on.
Ow.
Eh? You're right.
Yeah, I just rolled the chair over.
Ah. So I'm going to have a go with my favourite stamp, which is this one. Well, one of my favourites. There's another one over there. So I'm going over the top of some of the images so that it all becomes a cohesive whole instead of just being a lot of individual stamps all over the place. Couple more of this one. Right. Some of the, I always think of him as a Batman. He isn't really. It's just that where his head is, some of the letters from behind make it look like he's got little bat ears.
Yes, it
So
does.
I think of him as Batman with a balloon.
Batman.
Balloon time. Get any more ink out of that one. That one seems to have dried up a bit. That's a bit better. I just dropped that silly stamp on the floor. Sorry. Ooh. Careful, darling. Careful, babes. Hang on. I'm just getting tied up and I've dropped something on the doggy. There we go. Sorry, dog. Can you move? That's it. I don't want to hurt you. I always worry that the wheels of this chair are going to roll back right on top of him.
That's what just happened to me. Is I didn't want to roll over onto my headset cord, so I rolled over my toe instead.
Oh dear. Oh, that's worse.
Yeah.
So all I'm doing is stamping with some of my favourite stamps, whether they go together or not. To me, they go together because I like them. A bit of the clock. Getting a bit full now. Funny, I had a sudden desire for a London bus. Weird.
What is that?
London bus? It's a London bus.
And why would you have a desire for that?
I don't know. It's just maybe it's these bits looking like the Tower of Big Ben or something. I don't know. Maybe it's him looking a bit like a policeman. I don't know. I don't want him.
Well, the way you said it, it was like you had a desire for a London bus, like you want one to come through the house or to the house.
No. Stamp of.
Oh, a stamp of a London bus. Okay. Well, I thought maybe it was your new terminology for a London bus cake or something.
No, not gonna happen.
I like that one. I mean, I like them all, yes, but I
this and the other face, I just seem to like faces.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know why.
Throw it in there, something upside down, looking good.
Got a little ragged bit I want to get out. That's better. I think we're nearing the end with this.
Oh, goodness.
I might use a few of this one, just because I like him. Filling up the spaces now. There's another space there. Another one there. And another one there. And one over in this corner over here. One in that corner, maybe. And one over there. I think that's about it.
You need more, though.
No, I don't think I do.
Yeah.
Don't forget I'm going to put colour over it.
Well.
The next step is putting the colour over it, like I was putting the colour over the other ones.
You just, on the right side, it just looks like it needs more stamps of some sort. Yeah.
Over here?
Yeah.
Well, I don't think
so. No, not there. Look where the, a little farther, like the middle right. There's,
there?
Yeah, there's a spot there, and then down below that, down by Batman.
Well, I think I'll leave it. I think I'll leave it because I want some of the colour to show as well.
Okay.
And I want to be able to put pools here and there. So I think I'm going to leave it. Great thing about Stays on Ink, I don't really need to clean the stamps. Lovely. Always a good thing. So, butternut squash. Whoops, get that one out of the way. There we go. Bit of tea.
Have a spot of tea, Admiral Halsey and Uncle Albert. And you know what I'm referencing there.
Well, Uncle Albert is from Only Fools and Horses. Admiral Halsey, isn't he an American war hero? Tactician?
Well, actually, I was referring to Paul McCartney singing, "We're So Sorry, Uncle Albert."
Oh, sorry. I don't know all of the songs. I'm not into the songs as much as I really ought to be, perhaps.
No, you're fine. I just grew up with a lot of music. In a musical family. We weren't as musical as some, but there was always...
My brother would probably have known it because he has posters. He had posters of the Beatles all over the place.
Well, you knew it was the Beatles.
Oh, yeah. But there's an Uncle Albert in Only Fools and Horses.
Yeah.
Which is a BBC comedy. Used to be. It's not a rerun, will be.
You're more of a historian.
Yes. Give me a pharaoh and I might have some idea.
Yeah. Yep. That's right. All right.
Now, a bit of the... where is it? Rusted metal. There we are. Bit of the rusted metal. There we go. I think that's enough. I've probably got too much on there anyway. You see what I mean? The gap really doesn't matter.
Right.
Where was the gap again?
Over there.
Where? Can't find it. There we go. Right. So that's another one to sit and dry a bit. Yeah, I've added a bit more now. What else have we got? We've got... oh, the brass one. Oh, that won't work. But that one may. Weathered copper. I should have one of those. Yes, I have one of those. Good. Too much.
Oh, I got to tell you, right in the middle, it looks like an old man with a bulbous nose and a beard.
Oh.
And hairy eyebrows.
I wonder if it still will when it's when it's dried. Well, we'll see.
We'll see.
Put the lid on that one. So we used the same colours again. We used the Seth Apter tea. We used rusted metal, butternut squash, woven burlap and Verdigri Faux finish, and I added this time a little bit of this weathered copper faux finish, which is a sort of bluish color. You can see these sort of verdigris looking bits. It goes quite well. So that's that. Now, how's that one doing? I might give this one a bit of a heat.
Looks like you've about got it. Yep.
As I was saying, so that's one. I've got it. It's a little bit damp at the back here, you know, and I would like to do it a little bit more, but let's do some of the others and we can see how it might go on there. So to create the box texture. Lovely. And then I would be using these on the outside. I mean, you could use it on there now, but I would prefer to do it once it's on, because then you can put dribbles down the edges and you can put bits here and there where you like, and they're not going to snap off when you're bending the stuff on.
Yep.
If it's already on.
Yep.
So that's one sheet. And here is two sheet. So it's not quite the same. And I think I might put a little bit more of this. Just
remember, you've got the box underneath. Okay.
I know. Here we go. Just have something to dry. Okay, going quiet again.
Okay.
Of course, another thing you can do is you can put on each colour separately and dry it before putting the next colour on. You will get a different effect if you do that. You won't get so much blending, but you may get more separate bits of colour if you want that.
The other one, I kind of like the way it blended. And I think that's what you like. Yeah, exactly. You much prefer, well, you said that at the beginning that it wasn't dry, but you wanted it to be wet so that they would blend. I gotta say, I love your fingernails. No, I love that you have healthier looking fingernails.
Well, that doesn't look all that healthy, does it? But yes, I know what you mean. Well, so I can put some more on here.
In our community, it does look healthy.
True. That brightened that area up a bit.
Yes, it did, didn't it? There you go. Oh, yeah, it did. What will it do to that green?
Well, it'll give it a bit more lightness and punch, wouldn't it?
I like that. Yeah. Okay.
Let me just... There. Now I can go back to that. Sorry. You can also push the colour around with the heat gun. If you look what I do in a minute, I'll be pushing it around to create the different patterns. So hang on.
Okay. Yep. Yep. It looks like a pooch face. It looks like a doggy face or like a fluffy dog. I don't know.
I thought it looked more like a river basin or something.
Oh no, you have to see. There's two eyes and a nose peeking over something.
Like okay, if you say so.
Like a little fluffy dog. Now turn that way. The whole thing looks like Freddy Krueger. Friday the 13th. Like he's melting. Oh, now you turned it, so he's gone. Thank you. I didn't need that. That's gorgeous. That really is.
Well, that's about done too. It gets stiffer when it's dry.
Mm-hmm.
And that is lovely. I love it all that. Love that sort of smoky texture almost.
Mm-hmm.
Wonderful. So that's two. Let's see what the other one that I dumped over there is doing like. Hang on a minute. Oh. I thought we had a bit of a bad spot, but it turned out it was just a piece of black tissue on the floor. I thought it had gone through. It hadn't. So it doesn't really matter about the box underneath because I'm going to be covering it with this anyway.
Well, I wasn't thinking about. I wasn't thinking so much about you getting ink on it as I was thinking about the wetness to come through and weaken the box.
Well, it hasn't.
Yeah, it hasn't.
So that's all right. Yeah.
It kind of, from where I'm sitting, it kind of went with a pinkish hue, a sort of a haze over it, like a beautiful sunset or sunrise.
Yeah, this one's redder in tone, really, isn't it? Not so much of the green, unless you tilt it. Then you can see these green bits.
I still like it, but yeah, it's got that red gives it a bit of a hue, a pinkish haze like over it. And of course, you're going to cut it, so we'll see it in bits, not as a whole. It has a, it has a, you did it, Fran. You really did it. You know what it looks? It looks like copper with a green patina.
There you go.
You did it.
That's what I'm hoping for. Yeah.
Take a look at it. I mean, sit back and take a look at it with an objective eye. I see it. I mean, it's got that, as it dries, it's got a patina to it. It's like a old sheet of copper. You did good.
Yeah. I'm liking it quite a lot.
Yeah.
So it doesn't need a lot more drying, this. Just a little bit more because it feels cold. And if it feels cold, that, of course, means it's not
still, yeah,
dry.
It's not. Still a bit wet.
Still damp. I like when I can, I've got most of it dry, but there's a little bit excess water there, wetness. And I go in with this and it gives me the sort of a little hole through the darkness, a little brighter hole. I love that effect. Knowing when to put the, it's trial and error, but knowing after a bit you find that when you're doing that, it's, that's a nice effect. I want a bit more of that, do a bit more. So that's a great way to do things. Trial and error.
Well, yeah, that's what I was trying to get to the other day is knowledge, but experience comes from trial and error. Just do it. It's what P says and what you say. Just do it and find out. And in your case, if you and P do the same exact thing or have the same exact idea in mind, so you sit down to do it, it's going to come out different because you...
I was going to say, I'm saying that with the mute button on. That's what happens. We both have the same idea, use the same method, and it turns out different. It's the joy of it, isn't it?
Yeah, and it's just the way you are. Maybe you're more heavy-handed with the acrylics, and she's heavy-handed with the tissue paper. I mean, it's personal. It's quite personal. It's amazing that anything I do could be just as good as what you do. I love that piece right there. I'm in love with that.
Doesn't that look like sort of dents in the metal?
Yes, absolutely.
I love that.
I love that.
Wonderful, wonderful. It's still a bit damp.
And look over to the left. It looks like the metal kind of eroded away.
Yeah, yeah.
In that little
weathered metal.
Right. Wow.
This is a stunning example of weathered metal with sprays. Wow. So anyway,
before you do anything, I want you to put that in a good place and get your phone out and take a picture of that.
Okay. Yes, Mummy.
That is gorgeous.
You'll never see it again. Yeah, not bad, are they? I might need one more. I don't know. My experience of covering boxes is it usually takes a couple more than you think it's going to. Covering a box. So you can use that bit there. And you can use this bit on the underneath bit. And then you need at least one or two more to go around the other bits you can't quite reach. But let's end broadcast now, okay?
Go ahead.